Welcome to Puff Daddy Reef, and thanks for joining us today. I have a great unboxing of a Kessil A160WE tuna blue light. I also have with me the A150W, the predecessor, so we can kind of compare the improvements that they've made in this light. Stay tuned for the end of the video because I will actually do a light comparison of the two lights, as well as a size comparison. And I will also turn on my A360WE so you can kind of compare just all the different models of the aquarium light. So let's get started with the unboxing right now. So if you notice, I'm using a 6-inch ruler to help me open this box. It's metal and has sharp edges. It's great for cutting things. But what I have that for is so that we can compare the size of the two lights. A quick mention on these lights: Kessil is one of the only aquarium LED company that actually manufactures their own LEDs from the source, and this makes a huge difference because they can specifically tune their LEDs to the wavelengths they're interested in. Also, they have a patented dense matrix array technology where they can pack 20, 30, 60 LEDs depending on the light model on a single chip the size of smaller than a quarter. So it's pretty impressive. They're also experts in optics, so they have good designs for spreading the light across the tank. So I've opened it up, and the first thing we have here is the power supply. One thing I've noticed is it's small. It's much smaller than the A150, and I'll compare them soon. It also comes with the cable that plugs into the power supply. And then here's the light, and look at that. Beautiful. First thing I notice is it looks almost the same form factor as the old one, but has all these features on the back. It's got a cable there that, and then the inputs. So it has two inputs for controllability. Those are the 3.5mm headphone jacks. It's got the two turning knobs, one for spectrum and one for intensity. And it looks good. Got the label on the sides a little smaller, and these vents are something that are much different. The fan vents are a lot wider, and the thought for that is that they will decrease the noise by letting more air flow through, and I'll test that and we'll see how that actually works. So what's left in the box is, well, not much. I mean, box things. There's some, here's an important part. It's an adapter for the gooseneck mount. What I like about having this in there, and there's also kits for hanging it, and that's it. What I like about the gooseneck mount adapter is you can, find out what threads those are. I'll have to look up and, actually test with a thread gauge what threads those are. But if you don't want to use their gooseneck, now it's easy to just get a bolt and bolt your light straight through it. So they're actually making it easier to use other people's products, but I think it's their way to adapt it. So I'm going to line up the lights here so we can kind of see a comparison of both of them. And so this is everything that comes with the box. This is what you're going to get when you buy the lights, and that's about it. So I'm going to get into the in-depth review and comparison because that's the most important part of this. You want to know if it's worth upgrading, and believe me, it is. So first thing I want to do is just kind of pull the light up, show you the features a little bit closer up that we didn't see during the unboxing. So first thing I like is the fan, the bigger gaps in there. You can see the front of the light. The optics are a little more visible. The back side is where all the controls are. Here's a better view, so you can kind of see the labels of everything. You have your intensity there, your colors on the left, and then your input and output ports down there. Overall it looks really good. You can see all the LEDs on that really tight dime-sized chip there. Here's another close-up, and I'm going to kind of open this up. This is the mount for the gooseneck that comes with it. So it doesn't come with the gooseneck, but it comes with this mount. And like I said, if you have your own bolts in your own system, you can just thread that right into there. And check the description below for what that threading is. I'll have to check on it. The length of the light is just about 4 inches, slightly over 4 inches. So it's pretty compact. It's actually a little bit longer than the A360s, but those are much wider. So here's the big deal. What is the size difference? Zilch if you're excluding the knobs. Yep, The old A150 is 4 inches as well, and that's unbelievable because they added the potentiometers in there. They added the input-output ports for controllability, and we're talking about actually maybe like 1/10 of an inch longer, so almost zero difference. They're about the same width, and if you can just see the two side by side, it's an amazing completion to a product. Here's a quick comparison. So the one on top is the new Kessil, the other one's lower. You can see the dense matrix LED is even denser now. There's more chips on it, so it actually has a brighter output, and the reflector also looks a little shinier. So this is how they look side by side, and now what I'd like to do is show you a little bit about what it looks like when we turn it on. So I'm going to set this aside and we'll check that out. So one thing I forgot to mention that I really like is this cord. The new ones, the cable on the newer light unplugs much closer to the light, where the other one unplugs much farther away. This allows you to take your lights off and maneuver them easy. So there she is, just plugged her in. Looks really good. Of course, it's hard to pick up the light on the camera, and this is why I'll show you a demonstration of it in a bit. But I just wanted to show you how bright it is on my hand. I mean, you can feel the photons. You can kind of see in there. There's a fan whirring, but I can't even hear anything. It is absolutely silent. So let's go to the real review. So I want to get moving along real quick, but I just wanted to point out one thing here. You know, the lights are almost practically the same size, but another cool thing is they've miniaturized the power supply a little. So on my left is the A160, and then on my right is the A150. And the power supply is a lot smaller. This is nice. I mean, if you have a bunch of these, or you're hiding all the wires and cables everywhere, it's nice to have. The other thing I pointed out is this cable to the light is shorter. Look at it here. It's like 6 or 7 inches to where it unplugs, whereas on the old one it doesn't unplug all the way down until about like 5 feet away from the light. So you know, it's a little harder to unclip your light for maintenance, or if you have everything else tied down with cable ties, it's a little harder to get to. So this is a quick comparison on paper, the 160s on the left and the 150s on the right, and what I'm trying to do is match the color of it, and just kind of playing around from the bluer setting, so deepest blue right here to white, and what it appears like is the ocean blue is about in the bottom third of the range of the tuna blue, the A160. So you have a lot more white bandwidth to play with, as well as a little, about a third more in the blue. So here's some look at the range, but this isn't showing up too well, so I'm going to move on to the other test. So this light, the second one from the left, is the Kessil A160WE. I'm going through the color intensity. It's at mid-level color temperature, and I just went to low, up, and then back down. And now I'm going to go to a medium range here. So here's the lowest it gets, the darkest it gets, off, and then up again, and then back down to medium. Now I'm going to change the color temperature so you can see the color temperature range. So this is the bluest end of the spectrum, and this is the full spectrum. I'm going to go back real quick, down, down, down to the blue spectrum, very blue, and then back up to full spectrum. So you really get whatever choice you want here. Now I'm going to do full spectrum off, full spectrum up, and then I'm going to leave it there and move on to the next light. So the next light I'm going to show you is the A150W, and here it is, just plugged it in. It only gets one option for color, so I'm not going to go through a bunch of range. It's one intensity, one color. It's about, I'd say in intensity, 75% of the max of the A160, and I'd say it's probably about the color in the bottom third range, towards blue. I'm going to turn on the A160 and we'll see if you can see any difference. Crank up the brightness to full brightness so you can see here. I'm going to try to match the color spectrum. So I'm not sure what you can make from that. These are just lights that you have to see in person, because the shimmer is really what's amazing. And if you look down on the bottom of the tank, you can see things sparkling back and forth, and it's really amazing. And before we go, I just wanted to compare it to the A360WE. That's the light on right now. It's the farthest one to the right. It's got a coverage of about 24 inches. The tank's 24 inches across. And for comparison, the A150, which is has a coverage of about, looks like by the time it hits the screen, it's maybe around 20 inches of spread. Doesn't have quite the range or adjustability nearly as bright. And last, just a clip of the A160 fully on and shimmering over the tank. So thank you very much for watching today. I'm going to leave you with a shot of my Deep Blue Pro 80-gallon tank. I've got 3 Kessils on it right now and some T5 supplementation, a really cool mounting system that I'm working on now. Of course, the A160 is going to go on a smaller Nuvo 20-gallon tank that you can check out that link above. Please leave comments if you have any questions, and like and subscribe so I keep making more videos. Thanks for watching Puff Daddy Reef.